Time for another Belleville Sens summer skate, and we are with returning defenseman Scott Harrington, who's spending the summer down in the Nashville area where he makes his home. Thanks for taking some time for us, Scotty. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, buddy.
How has the summer been? I know near the end of the season you had we're getting pretty excited to head back down there and settle into the place. How's the summer been in the Nashville area?
It's been good. It's hot right now as it usually is in basically June, July, and August. But it's good. It's nice to get away from it a little bit and kind of rest up and maybe heal up if you're a little banged up after the season and just see some friends and family and kind of take your mind off things for a little bit.
We talked about it a bit during your exit interview, but how different has this offseason been for you? Again, knowing that you're kind of settled, you've got a home for the upcoming season, unlike last year where you signed basically the day before the season started.
Yeah, it's been nice. I haven't had this in God, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So it's nice not to have to stress about where we're going to be for once this summer. I know my wife, she likes that part too. So it's been good. We really enjoyed our season in Belleville and enjoyed kind of getting to know the city. And usually it takes, about half the season to kind of get comfortable with the new surroundings. So knowing that we're heading back for next season's been great. We've already got our place locked in where we're gonna live and just looking forward to getting back and seeing the guys and getting things going.
Awesome. It's been nice to spend some time with the family.
Yeah, it's been really nice. My daughter turned 1 this summer, so that was cool having her first birthday party. And we're kind of at the age now where all of our friends are starting to have kids. So getting to meet a lot of new babies this summer has been fun. I think we met 4 baby girls in one weekend at the beginning of the summer. So we're enjoying that season of life that we're in now and just trying to soak it all in.
Did you do a theme for the birthday party or just the first year?
It was just the first year. We went back and forth. I mean, that's, obviously my wife does most of the planning. That's her expertise, and I just try and support any way I can. But ultimately, we settled on just birthday, and I'm sure all of the birthdays moving forward will have some sort of theme, whatever she wants to do.
We talk about family, and we talked a lot last year about you being from Kingston, and naturally there's been a lot of positive reaction to that. But from your perspective, what's the reaction, to that reaction? Were you expecting people to be so happy to see you back, close to home, and maybe does it give you that kind of feeling of playing for your hometown team a little bit, even though we're 40 minutes down the road from Kingston?
Yeah, no, it certainly does. Yeah, I was surprised. I spent all my whole childhood in Kingston, but I mean, I guess it would have been probably 15, 16 years since I left home. So it was always fun coming back and playing when I played in London, playing against the Frontenacs. And yeah, I mean, I guess 2 years ago, maybe when I was in Springfield and we came back and played against Belleville, was the first time I'd played in Belleville since I was probably, 18 years old. So um, for me, it felt like a long time, but and I really appreciated the support and Belleville, you can tell is, and people always say that it's really a junior hockey town. The way they support the team and likewise support players who are from the surrounding area. And we happen to have a lot of guys that are from Ontario on our team, and obviously myself being 40 minutes down the road, it was cool. It was like coming home, and um, yeah, it was special. My parents were at basically every home game, had some buddies come to games and some other family members too. So yeah, it was just kind of a full circle moment, I think, for the whole season. It was really fun and coming back after being gone for so long, it was special.
You're coming back to a team that's going to have a fair amount of turnover, which is not, an unfamiliar thing in the American Hockey League. But as a veteran guy and, one of the guys who is returning, how do you kind of approach coming back and, seeing some new faces and also, getting back connected with those younger players that are going to hopefully make some big steps this year?
Yeah, I mean that's always the I guess challenging part of pro hockey, especially the American League, is that the personnel change so frequently from year to year, and going into camp, obviously we'll have to get used to each other, but That's the great part about professional sports and hockey specifically is, it takes about 2 days of skating together, practicing, battling on the ice, and you're fast friends, and everybody has so much in common, and everybody's played with guys that have played with each other. So, you might not know, personally some of the new guys that they brought in, but I'm sure you've got mutual friends that you can connect with, and it doesn't take long. It's exciting. It's a new opportunity to meet some fresh faces, make some new friends, and gear up for the season together. So it's always good when you've got a lot of new guys coming in. They're excited. They want to make a good first impression. So it's just going to benefit everybody.
Do you have any familiarity with any of the, those new two-way guys that could potentially make their way here to Belleville? Matt Turk, Steve Stais, and company have been pretty busy early on in free agency here.
Yeah, we certainly have signed a lot of guys. Not super familiar. I'm familiar with Tomasino. When he was in the Preds organization, just skating with him. I skate with the Preds guys in the summer. So, a lot of those guys would come in before camp and we'd skate together. So met him a little bit, seems like a great guy. But that's pretty much it. But like I said, I'm sure I've got plenty of mutual friends with the other guys that we brought in. We'll just see who ends up in Belleville and we'll go from there.
Andrew Campbell will lead the team behind the bench for the next 3 seasons. What can you say about the job that he did last year in stepping in mid-season and keeping things on the rails, keeping things on track? And I mean, you've got a little bit of experience as a teammate of his as well. So, what's it like to see him kind of get this role full time?
Yeah, no, it's great for him. I think all the guys that are returning are really excited for him. And we had a great coaching staff last year, and obviously it's difficult whenever you make a coaching change. It's hard on the players, and I'm sure it's difficult for the coaches. They're thrust into a new role, and sometimes that role presents an opportunity. And I think that suit really took that, and when you look back at all the injuries we had kind of at the beginning of the year, and then with all the call-ups we had, with all the D going down and everything in Ottawa, it really was kind of a unique year, challenging in a lot of ways. But I think that our coaches really did the best that they could, of preparing us every game and every day at practice and working with the guys. And whenever you see people put in that effort and come to work every day trying to help the players and do the best that they can, when you see those guys get rewarded, it's great. And yeah, Soup's a great guy, and he was a good hockey player, and obviously he's had success as a coach, and him having familiarity with the guys that are going to be returning in Belleville, I think it just benefits everybody. And for him, I'm sure getting some term is great for him and his family, some stability, and yeah, I think it's a great move for the organization.
Yeah, lots of upside, lots to look forward to here in about 80 days or less than that now for until we hit the home opener. What does the rest of your summer look like here? Leading up to training camp, what will be a very short training camp for us here in Belleville.
Uh, Kind of the same as usual. We're into the full swing of things now with skating and training, and it is we are very fortunate with this profession to be usually done by noon every day during the week in the summer and get to live wherever we want. So, we've just been trying to do as much as we can on the weekends to see friends and family that we don't otherwise get to see, and a lot of my wife's family is down here, I guess if you want to call it the South. So we've just been traveling around trying to see them as much as we can. And then fortunately, we'll see a lot of my family during the season, being in Kingston. So um, nothing too special or too noteworthy. I think we've done most of our kind of trips and stuff like that. Now we'll just try and soak up as much of the summer as we can. And for myself, just get ready for camp and, every year the game's getting quicker and more skilled. So the older you get, the harder you have to work to keep up with that and to keep developing your game. So yeah, I'll just do that and keep working and get ready for camp.
Did you get anywhere exciting in your summer travels?
We went to the beach, North Carolina for a weekend. That was fun. We've been doing that for a couple years now. Trying to think anything else. Nothing too crazy. When we played over in Europe a couple of years ago, we did a lot of bouncing around to different countries and stuff. And
Sure.
um, so we didn't do any of that this summer. And especially with a 1 year old, I don't think that's that's something that would be very, I shouldn't say fun, but that would be a lot of work at this age. So we're just trying to enjoy our time at home and like I said, meeting a lot of babies and just seeing some friends.